Stickly may be one of the least creative characters ever made, but he still holds a special place in the hearts of 90s children for his several years of his hosting Nick in the afternoon. Most information on Stickly says he hosted Nickelodeon's summer afternoon block from 1995 and 1998. But I always swore I remembered seeing him on TV earlier than that. I thought I was crazy for a while, but recently I found a small fan site for Stickly. It basically mentioned him hosting a 1993 afternoon block during the school year afternoon snack with Stickly. To my joy, the website even had videos of Stickly's segments. I watched one marked first ever Stickly appearance. You see, it looked like this. Stickly was in front of a chalkboard with afternoon snack written on it in normal writing. His design was different. His eyes were smaller, he had no nose, and his mouth was a straight line instead of being curved into a smile. He made a couple of corny jokes, then said Rugrats was coming up. The video ended at that point. I watched the next one. There were 6 of them, and none had dates, but I could only assume they were in chronological order. The second one was called Stick Gets Injured. Stickly had the same face from the first video, but his body seemed a little worn. There were a few splinters sticking out his side. His full dialogue was, "Well, the dog next door buried me, but I managed to get it. The show you all voted to see, Hey Dude, is up next. And don't forget to send in your postcards to vote for the special guests to show what you want to see. And remember, the address is," it said it like that. He sung a classic song about written to him, but the tune was different than in later versions, much slower. After he was finished, he just stood motionless for a few minutes before the video ended. The third was called Hang Stick. Stickly was hanging in the air by a piece of string tied around his waist. A little boy who looked about 5 was also there, and the chalkboard had 6 dashes on it, representing a 6-letter hangman's word. The kid was guessing letters each time he got one wrong. The string around Stick's waist would move higher. The game would be over when it reached Stick's quote-unquote neck. The kid kept guessing letters when the rope was one incorrect guess from Stick's, once again, neck. The letters filled in were C and D L E. It was obvious what the word was, but the kid wasn't taking the game very seriously. He was giggling in the process. He also guessed X. It tightened on his neck, and his eyes flashed out of existence and were replaced by 2 X's. There were no sound for about 30 seconds. The kid just stared at Stick. Then Stick's eyes flashed back to normal and he laughed. Said he was fine. And that Wild and Crazy Kids was on next. The 4th video was called Stick Quits. Stick was ranting about something that presumably happened in a segment the site didn't add a video of, saying no one respected him and that he was treated like a toothpick, how his father was a mighty ship, and that dog kept burying him. The complaints seemed like jokes, but his tone was more serious than you expect. A little kid appeared, not the same one in the 3rd video, and told Stick that everybody loved him. He was silent for quite a while, then sighed and said he would stay. He reminded us to vote in the He reminded us to vote in the guest show contest again and said it was time for Rugrats. The 5th video was marked Stick Gets Mad, No Sound. Like the description said, it was silent. He was just moving very quickly, with body language indicating that he was yelling. A little girl was cowering from him. Clearly afraid, the girl eventually left and Stick just faced the screen. His animation was so simple that I couldn't even tell if he was talking. The 6th video now. This one was called The Winner Revealed. Stick had a dark red stain on the top of his head, and one of his eyes was a X. He made no mention of his appearance and announced that the votes were in. It was time for the special guest show to air. His last bit of dialogue was, "It's been a long contest and the vote was closed, but you kids have decided." Coming up right now, the classic you've been waiting for or voted for, Candle Cove.